cards thick or cut them lean. Then call them right and wipe us clean on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Thank you very much, and welcome to Card Sharks. Good to have you here. Thank you. You're very kind. And really, when we say cut the cards and we call them right and wipe us clean, we really hope someone does today. We want to give away a lot of money. Thank you, George Hutton of San Antonio, Texas. Now let's get to the cards. And Janice and Marky, if you will, load into brand new decks of cards and we'll meet our players on Card Sharks. Hello, Debbie Thompson, our champion. Won't you again remind us about yourself?
Okay, my name is Debbie Thompson. I'm married. I have 3 children. I live in Simi Valley, and I'm a real estate agent.
And it's good to have you back. You won $3,800 yesterday.
I know. I love it.
And the challenger we're meeting for the first time, this is Tiny Roldan. Hello, Tiny. Welcome.
Hello.
Is Tiny your real name?
Well, my real name is Selma Roldan, but I don't know. Everybody's been calling me Tiny, and I really don't know why.
I can't imagine why. Won't you tell us about yourself, then?
Well, I have one thing that I'm real excited about. I am a great-grandmother.
Well, wonderful.
2 daughters, 2 grandsons, and 1 great-grandbaby.
That is terrific.
And
you
I'm
don't
thrilled.
look old enough.
And besides that, I'm a hobo.
You're a what?
I'm a hobo.
I thought you were an engineer with a...
Well, I am an engineer in my own little motorhome, and I travel all over the country, back, forth, south, north, east,
Isn't
and west.
that terrific? Good. Good to have you here, Tiny. Hope you're going to have a pleasant stay with us. Good luck to both of you. And the cards have been shuffled. The players cut them. Debbie, the champion, will play the upper cards, the red cards. Tiny, the challenger, plays the lower cards, the blue cards. Debbie, we start with a question to the champion. We found 100 grooms-to-be. These men plan to be married in the next 6 months. We asked them, is there a woman in your past that you've never told your fiancé about? How many grooms-to-be said yes?
Oh, I think that number, I'm going to go down the middle with it, but everybody has a little secret in their background. 50.
50 grooms-to-be. Have someone in the past the fiancé doesn't know about, Tiny?
Well, it depends on the age group. If they're very, very young, they would tell. But if they're middle-aged or in between, they're going to keep it a secret. How about the...
She said 50.
I'll say just a wee bit higher.
Say higher than that. Well, if it is higher, you'll go to the board first, Tiny. If not, it'll be Debbie. And the actual number of grooms-to-be who admitted there's a woman they've never told their fiancé about is 25, not higher. Debbie. 1/4 of them are keeping secrets, though. Really? Debbie, you're starting off with a 9.
Change it.
You won the question. Anytime you win it, you have the right to change it. 2. A 2.
Good card. Next card is higher.
Higher than a 2. Yes,
Next
with a jack.
card is lower.
Risking the 2 of them lower. No, it's a queen. And you go right back to the base card, giving Tiny a free chance to play a king.
Oh, boy, that's terrific. The next card is going to be lower.
Lower than a king. Yes, an 8.
I'll freeze.
We move the freeze bar over and can't take those cards away. Janice will fill in the spaces. And the question to you, Tiny. We asked 100 married men, if your wife were not home, would you be able to soft boil an egg? How many husbands admitted they could not even soft boil an egg?
Well, in the past, they couldn't. But in the present, I would say about 30.
30. 30 men couldn't even soft boil an egg if they were all alone.
I think that number is a little bit higher. My husband's really, he's a better cook than I am. He does all the cooking.
Well, it's how many could not?
I know.
But
I
you-
say it's a little bit
You think it's high? Oh, he's a good cook, but
He's a
most
good
of them
cook.
are not.
But a lot of them aren't.
I see. Lower, says the audience. Let's find out. The actual number of married men who could not soft boil an egg is 9. Very much lower. Tiny.
I'll change it.
Yeah, I'm no
I'll
cook,
change
but that I think I could do that. You want to change that 8, Tiny?
Please.
You won the question. You can change it. A 5.
That's
Good
better.
change.
Next card is higher.
Higher than a 5? Yes, with a 10.
Oh, I hate tens. I'm going to freeze.
You're freezing. And Tiny needs 2 cards to win the first game of the best 2 out of 3 match. Debbie, we asked 100 United States Marines, have you ever been to a massage parlor? How many Marines said yes, they have?
Oh, I think that number is going to be a little bit high. I think they run the bases and stuff. They do things like that. I'm going to say 73.
73 Marines have been to a massage parlor, Tiny.
I think that they would have been, but I still think it'll be a little bit lower.
Lower.
They couldn't afford it.
They couldn't afford it. That gives it a real moral reason, Tiny. They couldn't afford it. The actual number of Marines who've been to a massage parlor is 45. It's lower. Tiny.
I'll change that
Tiny, you do want to change that 10?
10. I don't like 10.
Okay, we'll change it to a 4. And a good change again.
I'll say higher.
Higher than a 4. Yes, an ace.
Lower.
For the first game in the match, lower than an ace, it is a 10. And the challenger wins game number 1 and $100. Game 2 coming up right after we take time out for this. You've been watching Important Messages. We've been adjusting microphones for Tiny. Are we ready now?
Yes.
Okay. Janice is dealing out the cards. Same 2 decks of cards. And Debbie, you need this game. Tiny leads 1-0. Best 2 out of 3. Tiny, the question to you. We found 100 women who are exactly 40 years old. And we asked them, if a 20-year-old man told you that you reminded him of his mother, would you be insulted? How many 40-year-old women said they would be insulted?
Well, women are very vain, and it's possible that I would say around 51 would be insulted.
51 would be insulted if a 20-year-old man said they reminded them of mom.
I want to tell you that I just did this to a man. I told him he looked like my father, and he hated me. I say it's higher.
Even higher.
Yes.
The actual number of 40-year-old women who would be insulted is 47, not higher. Tiny was very close to it.
Wonderful.
Tiny again gets the first crack at the cards with a 10. I know you don't like 10s.
I don't like 10. Could I change it?
Certainly you can change
I just don't
it.
like 10.
You asked so
4,
sweetly,
2,
changing
3.
it to a queen.
Better. Next card is lower.
Lower than a queen. A jack.
Beautiful. Next card is lower.
Risking the 2 of them lower. Yes, a 3.
Oh, boy, next card is higher.
Higher than a 3. An 8. Freeze. Yes, I want that message. Tiny needs 1 for the championship and a crack of the money cards. Debbie, you better get going. Debbie, we polled 100 people waiting in line to ride the world's most famous roller coaster, the Coney Island Cyclone. We asked them, if you could sneak out of line right now so that no one would ever know you chickened out, would you do it? How many people admitted they would sneak out of line?
I don't think that number would be real high. If they were nervy enough just to even get in line on some of those rides, I would say that it'd be about 21.
21 would chicken out and sneak away if they could, Tiny.
I think it would be even a little bit lower.
Lower than that.
Yes.
They get in line, they're
Once they
courageous.
got in line, they would have to be brave.
Okay. The actual number of chickens who would sneak out of line is 34, not lower. Debbie.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get in line with their friends and really given their druthers, they
Didn't I
would
say
leave.
higher?
Debbie?
I thought I said higher.
No, you said lower.
No, I didn't mean that.
See, we're together, Tiny. You said lower. Okay. Debbie, you're starting with a 2.
Good. Next card will be higher.
Higher than a 2. It is a 4.
Okay. The next card will be higher.
Higher than a 4. Yes, an 8.
Oh, freeze.
Freezing it. Debbie needs 2 cards. Tiny needs 1. Question 3 to you, Tiny. We asked 100 18-year-old girls right now, are you in love with more than one guy? She sounds very happy about it, too. How many 18-year-old girls said yes, they are in love with more than one guy right now?
I would say about 35 because they don't know their own mind. They just don't know.
35 are in love with more than one, Deb.
I'm going to go with it just a little bit higher. I have a 19-year-old sister who's really fickle.
The actual number of fickle 18-year-old girls who are in love with more than one guy is 10, not higher. Tiny.
Change my
They knew their minds a lot better than you thought.
Change
And
my
Tiny
8.
wants to change the 8 to a 9.
Well, I'll
better?
go with the odds and I'll say a little bit lower.
You say lower. Tiny, if this is lower, you're the new champion on Card Sharks. For the win? No, it's not lower. And Debbie is still in it. A chance to play off the 8 and call this, Deb.
I'm going to go the next card is higher.
Higher than an 8? Yes,
Good.
a queen.
The next card is lower.
To tie up the match, lower than a queen.
Oh.
It is an ace. And Debbie needing 2 cards and Tiny needing 1. We're at sudden death. Someone has to win with this play of the cards. Control of that board, very important. Debbie, we took a confidential poll of 100 men and asked them, be honest, have you ever bought something that you knew was stolen? How many men admitted that they have?
I think a lot of men, you know, especially when they're younger, they buy tape recorders and all those things. And I think it would be about 61.
61 have bought something they knew was stolen, Tiny.
I don't think that many are dishonest people. I'll say just a wee bit lower.
Lower. And this decides control of the board. The actual number of men who have bought something stolen is 34. It's lower. Tiny.
Change my mind.
Now, Tiny, we're at sudden death. You've been making your decisions quickly. Let me give you the options here now. You may want to change your mind. Tiny, you have a 9. You need 1 card. Debbie has an 8. She needs 2. Your decision. Do you want to play it or pass it? What do you want to do, Tiny?
I'll pass it. I didn't want to, but I will.
You don't want to, but you will.
I will.
All right, you should follow your first instincts. Let's find out how it works out. Debbie, you've got an 8. If you can get them both, you've tied up the match. 1 mistake, and Tiny wins the championship. What's this?
I'm going to go higher.
Higher than an 8. Yes, an ace!
Lower!
Lower to tie up the match, and it is with a 5, and we're tied. Tiny, it sounds like you should have followed your first instinct there.
I figured 1 card I should be able to get.
Well, it's game 1 to Tiny, game 2 to Debbie, and each player has 1 game and $100. And we are setting up for the tiebreaker with just 3 cards up there and 3 questions here. Debbie and Tiny. Tiny, the question to you. Tiny, we asked 100 men. When you were a boy, did you ever sneak up behind a girl and snap her bra? How many men said yes, they've snapped a bra?
Quite a few of them.
Oh, yes?
Well, I mean, they're mischievous when they're boys.
Have you ever had your bra snapped, Tiny?
Yes.
Oh,
As a
okay.
matter of fact, I did at the beach.
Oh, well, how many men have done it?
I'll say 33.
33.
I think a few more little stinkers are out there. I'm going to go a little bit higher.
Say higher than that?
Yes.
The actual number of men who've snapped a girl's bra is 60. Very much higher, Debbie. Well, and Debbie starts off the tiebreaker with a 4.
Good card. The next card will be higher.
Higher than a 4. A 5.
I'm going to go and say the next card will be higher.
If this is higher, Debbie retains the championship for the win. Yes, for the 6. 4, 5, 6, and Debbie's done it. Great comeback, Deb. Tiny, thank you for joining us. Good luck with your travels. I hope you enjoy going all over the place. You're a delightful lady. Thank you, Tiny. Tiny Roldan, thank you. Debbie, come on down here. And Debbie's going to try to add to her winnings right after this commercial break. Debbie keeps telling me she's nervous, but your hand is warm. You're comfortable.
Oh, I can't believe it. It's just fantastic. This is wonderful.
And with another $200 in the game, you've now got $4,000. Ready to add to it?
Yes.
Let's open the board and get to the money cards. Hop on up, Deb. This is the fun part, right? Yes. Money cards have been shuffled and cut, and we'll give you $200 on the bottom line and these 3 cards to bet as you will. Move up to the second level. We'll give you another $200 of betting money, 3 more cards. Minimum bets, remember, $50 till you get to the top card, the big bet, and there you must bet at least half the money.
Okay.
A lot of money up there, Debbie.
I know.
Here's $200. As in the game, you have a choice of 2 base cards to start with, and you can, of course, change your base card if you need to on each of the succeeding 2 levels. With $200, you're starting with a 10.
I think I'm going to change it.
You hope you make a good change. You must play this one. Oh, an 8 right up the middle to start
I bet
with.
$50. The next card is lower.
$50. Lower than an 8? She's right with a 6.
See?
$250.
Okay, I'm going to bet $100. The next card is higher.
$100 higher than a 6? Yes, with another 8. You're
Okay.
inching along here.
I'm going to bet $150. The next card is higher.
Get a little more dairy now that you've called a couple right. $150 higher than an 8. No. Ooh, Wrong time to be daring. But up goes the 4. We give you the other $200 of betting money.
Okay.
$400 and a 4. Do you want it?
Yeah. I'm going to bet $300 the next card is higher.
$300 higher than a 4. Oh, no. With a 2.
That's
Still
okay.
3 cards to go, though.
That's
You can
okay.
build it up.
Right. I bet the whole 100, the next card is higher.
$100 higher than a 2. A 9.
Right.
Look at those cards.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to bet $50 the next card is higher.
Going against the odds. Yeah, we haven't seen a
I
face
know.
card. $50 higher than a 9. There's a
Hey,
face
see?
card. $250. And up goes the
Okay.
jack. Do you want to play it for the big
I don't
bet?
know. This one's kind of scary because I haven't seen any face cards. I think I'm going to change it.
You're going to change it?
Yes.
Changing a jack, too.
Hope for
She
a
has
low
a
one.
feeling.
Oh, well.
Oh, you're right back up the middle again with a
No.
7. You must bet 125, Debbie. You've got
I
250.
tell you, I'm going to bet it all that the next card is higher. Yeah.
$500 would not be bad.
That's
There's
right.
got to be another
That's
face card up there.
fantastic.
$250, she says, higher than a 7. Oh,
That's okay. That's
no.
okay.
Well, you took a risk.
Try again.
Would you have taken that risk if you didn't have the $4,000?
Yeah, I think I would have.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
You're playing good, though, Deb, and you do have $4,000.
Right.
And we'll have a new challenger right after this. You take a chance. Okay, Debbie, we'll get set up with 2 brand new decks of cards and meet a new challenger on Card Sharks. Tom Brennan, a fine broth of a lad. Good to see you, Tom. Won't you tell us about yourself?
Well, my name is Tom Brennan. I've been in Los Angeles about 6 weeks, formerly from Spartanburg, South Carolina, where I have a wife and 2 wonderful children. And presently, I'm helping my niece and her husband launch a new business right here in California.
Oh, good. Well, isn't that nice of you to come out, just give them a hand, getting the business starting?
Well, I have some other reasons, but that's my main purpose right now.
Good. Good to have you here with us, Tom.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. You'll play the blue cards, the lower cards. Debbie, the champion, the upper cards, the red cards. And Debbie, we asked 100 married women, have you ever served dinner to your husband by candlelight because you'd burned the meal and you didn't want him to notice? How many women admitted they have?
I don't think that would be very high. I think I would quick throw it in the garbage and then call out for dinner.
Oh, I
So I'm
see.
going to say it's real low. I'm going to say about 5.
5 women have served dinner by candlelight to hide the burned food, Tom.
I have to agree, but I think there's a few more would have done it. I'm going to say it's a little bit higher.
You say higher. The actual number of married women who've served a burned meal by candlelight is 4. Not higher. Debbie had it almost right on the button. And Debbie, you'll start off with an 8.
Change it.
Boy, you saw a lot of those with the money
I
cards, didn't you?
know.
Let's see if we can get rid of that one. A
Okay,
2.
Good, good. Next card will be higher.
Higher than a 2. Oh, no,
I can't
another
believe
2.
it.
And it is not higher. A break for the challenger. Tom, you have it 6.
I'm going to change that card.
No,
Jim.
you didn't win the question. You cannot change it.
Then I'll have to go higher.
Higher than a 6. Yes,
All right,
he's
let's
right with
keep
the
it
queen.
rolling now. The next card's lower.
Lower than a queen. It is
All
right.
right, I'm going to freeze right
Freezing
there.
it right there, and we move over the freeze bar and fill in the space for Debbie. Tom, your first question. And a nice question to get for a gentleman. We asked 100 striptease dancers. Were you embarrassed the first time you stripped in front of an audience? How many strippers said they were embarrassed?
I think they look to be real at ease, but I think really the first time it's going to be a little bit high. I'm going to say at least 42.
42 strippers were embarrassed the first time.
I tell you what, if they're in that business and they have the nerve to get up there, it is going to be lower.
Lower.
Yeah. Not from,
that-
I don't know anything about it, though, but
I
I'd say
see.
a little bit
Okay.
lower.
The actual number of strippers who were embarrassed the first time they stripped in front of an audience is 68, not lower. Tom, your logic was right. Yes.
Now I'd like to change that 9.
And now you can change it because you won the question. Changing the 9 to a
All
3.
right, very good. Now I'd like to go higher on that next
Higher
card.
than a 3. Yes,
Keep
the
it rolling
king.
lower on the next
Lower
card.
for the first game of the match. It is a 4. The challenger wins game number 1. And we'll be right back right after this commercial message. Well, we about run out of time. Game 1 to the challenger, but Debbie, you seem to always make a comeback even with bad cards.
I hope I do.
Well, we'll find out if she can do it because Debbie needs the next game, and that'll be coming up when next we meet on Card Sharks. Have yourself a very good day, and goodbye for now from all of us. Bye-bye.
A representative of the studio audience will receive Hamilton Beach's new 2002 Space Age Electronic Computer Food Processor. Chops, minces, purees, and more. 16-speed touch controls, digital readout furnished by Hamilton Beach Scoville. And some of our contestants will receive Broxident Automatic Action Toothbrush. With interchangeable brushes for the entire family, it's a great gift idea from Squibb. And Coffee Corner Coffee Maker from General Electric. It has a storage canister that measures out ground coffee right into the filter basket. And the Sunny Bunch from Sears. Fresh, feminine, color-coordinated fashions for young girls. Pretty things come in Sunny Bunches exclusively at Sears. And a month's reading from Fawcett, including The Savage Sands, Christina Nicholson's epic new romance that's seething with uncontrolled passion. Enjoy Fawcett Books. This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Sharks. A Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.